Do you want me to say it?
Sure.
Okay. Our dear Heavenly Father, we're grateful for this last meeting and for the opportunity that we'll have to talk about what we've learned in our personal goal setting and our accountability project over the semester. We pray that Thy Spirit will be here to help direct and guide our thoughts, and that we might all be able to learn something. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Well, does anyone want to go first, or I can go first? Either way.
I don't care.
Okay, I'll go first, and I'll just get it over with.
Okay.
Let me just get it up here. You might have to look at it as like a
little window.
Yeah, rather than like in presentation mode. Okay. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is my accountability project. And so just to kind of start off, this was what I wrote in the very first week, I think it was, that we started our presentations or our projects, I guess. And I basically just wrote how my biggest goal this semester was just like coming closer to God. And it just kind of came from like a couple of different things, like my patriarchal blessing, and like those were kind of the goals that helped me decide what I wanted to do. But it was kind of funny looking back at like what my goal was. I didn't feel like I did as good on the accountability project as I thought I did. But then when I looked at my goal, I felt like I did accomplish my goal, but in a different way than I expected. I felt like I did come closer to God, but it wasn't really like exactly through checking off the goals. And I think that's just the way things are for me sometimes. Like sometimes I feel like making a checklist almost like handicaps me. Whereas I feel like I'm not accomplishing anything, but really looking back, I did. So that's kind of like where my presentation started. Like looking back, that's where it started. I guess I can present. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so these are some of my goals, like study the scriptures, exercise each day. Something that I really struggle with is like getting done with my homework before I like watch a TV show or like play on my phone and like go on Facebook and all that stuff. So that was another goal, is like finishing my homework assignments before I did that stuff. And then reading a good book. And then something that I just felt like I needed to work on was just like preparing to have a good Sabbath day. And I think that was kind of like during conference time, and that kind of inspired me for that one. So the next part of like what she asked us was like identify any no's that you have. And I'm pretty sure every single goal I had a no at least one day. And so that made it kind of, that's where I felt like I kind of failed in the assignment, just from what the presentations that she showed and what like her instructions made it seem like we weren't supposed to get any no's. But for me, I got a lot of no's. But like I said, looking back, I still feel like I accomplished a lot in just trying to stay close to the Lord and trying to like do my best with what I can. And I kind of put the ice cream there because ice cream's like one of my biggest weaknesses. So it's kind of like me showing that, like, I have weaknesses and it's okay to have weaknesses. Sometimes you just have to enjoy them and then move on. So the next part, and I already talked to Gina a little bit about this before Greg hopped on and before we started, but just the follow through. My husband was a lot better at following through. And so my assignment with him was I would do his dishes if I got a no, or if he like followed through and I got a no. I'm not sure exactly how we were supposed to do it, but yeah, so he ended up not having to do a lot of dishes this semester. And then my second partner, this is what I was talking to Gina about. It was my sister, and she wasn't as close in proximity to me. She lives a whole state away. So kind of as the weeks went on, it just got harder and harder to follow up. And I didn't like encourage her to follow up with me. And so that was kind of, it didn't work out as well as I hoped it would. So the results, and again, this goes back to what I said. It's just kind of funny that I felt like I wasn't doing a good job, but I felt like I really did come closer to my Heavenly Father. And I think it's just because that's the way the Lord works. I think when we ask Him to help us with certain things, like patience, that's when He tries it. And I think that's what He did. Like, I think in my goal, writing it out made it more solid of a goal. And so I think He tried me even harder than just having that goal in my head as a constant goal, because I actually wrote it out. I think it was a lot harder for me to accomplish those things every day than it has been in the past. So I felt like I really did learn a lot from this experience. So in the future, I think what I would do is sometimes I overwhelm myself with how many goals that I'm doing. And I think in the future, I would try and focus on just one thing at a time and then like build on that. So once I feel like I've mastered that goal, then move on to the next one. Well, I mean, I think it's still good to have small goals, but I think for certain things, I need to focus on one at a time and mastering them. So that's what I would change in the future. Maybe less array of goals and just kind of one at a time. So what I learned is that we always have to be accountable. And even though we still have to take things day by day. I think we have to remind ourselves that we just need to accomplish this for one day and then move on to the next day. And that's how we learn. It's line upon line. And I think that's the end of my presentations.
That was good. Good job.
That was horrible. I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
All right, you want me to go?
Sure.
Okay. Let's do nice thing here. Trying to think how I can do this the best. I'll just start going. Okay, so for my accountability project, I shuffled through a few different things as far as who I wanted to become and how I wanted to better myself. I think a lot of it was really similar to what I had saw other people doing, things like scripture study and saying prayers and becoming more becoming closer to the church. So this is what I put here for who I wanted to become. Also, a big thing with me was sociability. So as I've gotten older, I've noticed that I don't interact with a whole lot of people during the time. I just kind of go with me and my family, and then that's it. You know, I go to church, and I thought it was kind of weird how I was growing apart from being very social anymore. So it's gotten to a point where it's become kind of uncomfortable for me to talk to other people. So I wanted to try to challenge myself to be a little bit more outgoing. So I challenged myself to talk to a person I didn't know every day and have a conversation with somebody, which doesn't sound very hard, but for me, it's very nerve-wracking. So it was difficult. One of the things I set for myself is if I was to get a no, was that I would have to double up for the next day. So if I missed a scripture, I didn't talk to somebody, or I can show you my goals here. Let's see if I can share this with you. Share screen. All right, can you guys see that okay? Is it too small? Can you see it okay? Okay. So some of the things I had in here was I studied my scriptures for 30 minutes each day. That's something I've always kind of done, but have slacked off a lot on. Another thing was saying my prayers, which kind of goes hand in hand with that, both morning and evening. And this is where I was challenging myself on a daily basis to have a conversation with somebody I didn't know. You guys maybe don't know, but I've been type 1 diabetic since I was 8 years old. So I've been on like an insulin pump, and when I was really young, taking shots every day and testing my blood sugar all the time. So it's a real pain in the butt, and I've had it for about, let's think, I'm 33 now. So I've had it since I was 8. So I've had it for more than 20 years. So one of the things that becomes hard is like being in control of your blood sugar and stuff. It makes you feel healthier and stuff like that. So I challenge myself to do that, to lower my hemoglobin A1C, and recording my progress. As far as family goals go, I was trying to have family more evening more frequently, spend time with my family members once a week, have like a family outing. Attend church, prepare my lesson, and then for long-term goals, to stay within my monthly budget, which I'm pretty horrible at, and do something with the family outside the home each month, and then make sure I'm meeting my goals for my work and sales and stuff like that. So I had a lot of no's as well. Sometimes I have no's in a row where I would just be too tired or sick or something to do it. So you can see scattered out here, I have a bunch of no's intermingled here. But the biggest challenge for me was having a conversation with somebody each day, and you start running out of people really quick. So I was finding myself trying to talk to like random people all the time, and just people at the store and what have you. But that was the biggest problem for me. So what I felt I accomplished through these challenges was I'm a little bit less, I'm still pretty nervous when I talk to people I don't know, but I'm a little bit less nervous. And I've noticed definitely with being more consistent with prayers and scripture studies, that once it became a little bit more routine for me, that I was able to, it was able to become second habit for me. And after a while, it wasn't hard to force myself to do it. It just became a part of my day. I'll stop sharing the screen here. One thing I noticed too is that setting priorities for what I thought was most important was really challenging. So a lot of my time is spent at work, like I just got home before we started this. Like I was walking up the stairs texting you guys. So it's spending time with my family was a thing that was hurting me, and I knew it's something that I felt bad about with every day. You know, I felt like I wasn't spending enough time with them, and that's the whole reason I'm doing all these things, having a job and going to work and doing all this. So I wanted to make that my priority, and I felt like I was able to do that. As we went out once a week, things of like relationships were getting better, and people, it was like just a happier mood in the house. It says here to give, or what I would do differently in the future. I think it would be to just prioritize your things correctly. So if your happiness comes from your family, to make that your priority and make time for that. You know, it can be a pain in the butt because it interferes with other aspects of your life, like work and church sometimes. And for me, it's mainly work. But I realized that I'm happier and I perform better when I'm happier. And when I'm with my family, that's when I'm the most happy. So it's really helped me in my job by dedicating that time. And I've had to turn my job down a few times where I said, I just can't come in. I can't come in this Saturday, or I'm with my family and I can't do it. And surprisingly, there was little pushback from that. So that's kind of what I learned about my accountability project. When I took away from it was just having the right priorities. And when you're able to discipline yourself enough, it can become kind of a second nature for you and make your life a little bit easier. So that's it. That's my project.
That was good. I'm surprised that one of your goals was about socializing, because you're so easy to talk to, and you're funny, and
that's what's weird is like I'm usually like that around people that I know, that I'm friends with, and people, like, after they get to know me, they're always kind of surprised, like. But it's really, I don't know what it is. It's like really, when I get around a lot of people, I get really closed off. Like I get really quiet. And people always ask me, why are you so quiet? Why are you so quiet? But I don't know.
I like that goal though. And even though you ended up talking to like just random people, whoever was around, I think that's still a great quality to have. I was thinking when you were talking, I was reminded, this is kind of a little off topic, but I guess my father-in-law, he's passed, but while he was still alive, he was one of those people that would just talk to anybody and everyone. And it was at first it was really foreign to me, because I was just thinking, why are you talking to that person? You're never going to see him again. Anyway, but looking back on it, that's really a talent and a gift to be that friendly. And who knows all the lives he would have touched just taking notice of the people he was around. Anyway, I think that was a cool goal.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to do that goal, just because I'm kind of similar to you, Greg. Like I get terrified to talk to people, and that was like one thing like on my mission that I really I learned a lot, and it was from like doing that, just talking to random people every day and like everywhere. But I like that goal because I haven't since my mission, I haven't done that, and I just feel like it's hard to do, but it gives you that like you said, Gina, it's like an opportunity to touch people.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you happier. I feel like it just makes you you got to know someone that you.
Yeah, and it's weird because a lot of people that in my office, I work in an office maybe with about 80 people or so that are in. I work for Comcast, and I do sales for them. There's all these different people that that work in different departments, and just talking to them, it's weird. Now I go through the office and it's just all these people like know my name and say hi, and it's a lot,
Yeah.
it's a lot different. So
That's awesome.
Sweet.
Okay, I guess I'll go now. Let me try and figure out how to screen share again. Okay. Can you guys see this? How did you get your screen to just show the page that you were looking at?
For
When
me,
you, yeah.
I just like presented it like normal, so it took over my whole screen.
I think if you press F5 or F10 or something, it like goes into presentation mode.
Let me try. Do you know what that was? Oh, okay. So is it just the one page now?
No, I still see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Sorry. I'm not sure how
If
to
you go
change
into
that.
view, if you hit view at the top in the middle, does it have presentation mode?
Hold on. I've got to figure out how to get. When I hit view, okay, hold on.
And then
Okay, where is that presentation mode?
Or slideshow. If you go to slideshow.
oh yeah, slideshow.
Slide, would that be the slide master? Nope, that's not it. Hold on. What happened? Okay.
Oh, did it say start slideshow somewhere?
Hold on. I'm not sure where it went now. Um. Anyway, well, it's just gonna have to be like this. Sorry.
That's fine.
I don't want to take any more time doing it. Okay, so we don't have to read all this, but the bulk of my goals revolved around my family and just things that I wanted to do to be a better mom, and I think the reason why I guess this is becoming more and more important to me. I mean, it's always been something on my mind. I want to, do the best that I can to help my kids learn and be prepared for life. But I have twins. My oldest daughters are twins, and they're sophomores this year. And I just am realizing it's kind of hit me that I really only have about 2 more years left with them at home. So it's become more of a focus for me. So my daily goals were to find ways to express love and support, encourage at least one of my kids every day, to read my scriptures every day. I didn't put a time limit on it. In fact, when you were talking, Greg, I was thinking, holy cow, a half an hour, that's pretty impressive. So for me, it was just to read something, to do something, and not just to read it, to check it off the list, but to seriously think about and to read something. In the scriptures every day, and then exercise every day. And then my weekly goals were to pick a different area in the house, to deep clean and then organize better, so that I felt like I could spend more time really interacting with people that were, my kids or whoever was at the house, instead of constantly just cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And then my second weekly goal was to do an act of service for someone in my family. And then my monthly goal was to find a way to serve someone outside of the house, whether that be, wherever that was, church, school, neighbors, just to serve someone outside of our house. So I'll just go down my tracking sheet. So September, I did really well the first month. I just had a couple no's. And then as we kept going, like October, I definitely had more no's. And then November and December the same. I had more no's. And as I knew that I was missing days as I was going, through all of our goals on a daily basis. And then here's December. But I really didn't realize how many days that I'd missed. And so when I was starting to count them up, I was kind of panicking because I was thinking that I had really done poorly, not as well as I thought I was doing. But then I realized that as I compared the two, I had 93 no's, but I still had twice as many yeses. And then as I went through to sort of analyze what was keeping me from doing this, fulfilling my goals, the hardest, the goal that I had by far the most no's in was exercise. And this comes down to just my priorities. Although it's a goal of mine, when push came to shove, I chose to do my other goals first. And there were just days where I just couldn't fit it in, or I was too tired, or for whatever reason, it couldn't happen. It just didn't happen. Another reason, or another thing that kept me from fulfilling my goals was a lack of specificity. So I think it would have helped if I had been a little more specific. For example, in my exercising goal, to even put, just to do something for 15 minutes or something, or even instead of, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I just don't have time to walk for an hour, whatever I'm thinking, because I had left it sort of so ambiguous. If I had been a little more specific, that I think I would have been able to accomplish more of that. And then I noticed that, like with my kids, or the goal to focus on, to do something to focus on someone in my family, to show them that I love them and I'm supporting them and stuff. I found that I lacked specificity in that too. And I think I would have been more successful on my tracking sheet. And I didn't include this in the one that I posted, but I wrote down the names of specifically who I had focused on that day. And I didn't assign days per se to anyone, or weeks per se to anyone. And I found that what ended up happening were there just were more opportunities that kind of came up during the day for some kids than others. And so when I went back to kind of check to see that I was doing something for everyone, there were definitely some kids that just didn't get as much support or love necessarily. I mean, I love them all, but kind of a specific focus on. And then lack of accountability. I didn't really take advantage of reporting to anyone, and I could see how that would help. And then ineffective consequences. So my consequence was that I wouldn't be able to watch TV or read. I love reading before I go to bed, or watching TV before I go to bed. And so my consequence was that if I had missed something, that I wouldn't be able to do that for the night. But I found that I was so tired anyway, I didn't care if I missed those things. And so it was, that was a very ineffective consequence. Even though I loved doing it, I preferred sleep, so it didn't really affect me. And then yeses, I love goals. I've always been really good at setting goals, and I like having charts and recording my progress and all of that. I think I just have a lot of self-encouragement, I guess. just keep going, even if I have no's and I'm not exactly perfect. I appreciate and I'm motivated by being able to try again tomorrow. That kind of thought. I do value the results and accomplishing something that even if like I said, even if I wasn't perfect at it and progressing in that right direction, and then having that desire to change, those are definitely things that help me to do my goals. So what did I accomplish? I'll just read these points, but I discovered more about how my kids feel and what they think. There were definitely some surprising things, which is good for me because I want to really develop better relationships with them so that I don't know. I want to focus more on them. Second, my house is clean more often and I'm better organized and I am able to spend more time with my friends, or not friends, with my family and friends actually too when they come over. But I actually found a couple of online like cleaning charts and suggestions. And one of them, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Fly Lady, but it's called the Fly Lady. And so I followed that, and it made a difference. Oops, sorry. The other one is, although I wasn't perfect in studying my scriptures every day, I did read more consistently than I have ever had before. And I definitely did more service for my family and other people. What I wanted to accomplish is I wanted to be better connected with my children and husband. So I feel like I was able to accomplish that, even though I wasn't perfect at, checking off every day. 2, I wanted to figure out how to better clean the house so that I could spend more time with my people I love, and I was able to accomplish that. I wanted to be more consistent in my scripture study and exercise, and I was. And I wanted to do more service for my family and people outside my home, and I was able to do that. So really, even though I had a lot of no's, I was able to accomplish all of my goals. So how did I become more the person I wanted? I didn't do as well as I'd hoped, but I did do better at everything except exercising daily. And so that progress is motivating because it's going in the right direction. And I was able to recognize important changes that I can make to be even more successful. And I gained a testimony of accountability and started to teach that with my kids. When we started having family councils, and I've been teaching everyone the 5 dysfunctions of a team, and I've talked to them about how, as a family, we're a team, and so we're talking about how we can build trust and how we can, how our family councils is the opportunity for us to really express our thoughts and our feelings so that we can be able to address our problems or our conflicts without it being something that is destructive, but will actually help everyone in the long run. Anyway, we've been talking about all of those things, and it's so I feel like I'm a better mom. I'm going in that direction. What I do differently in the future, and I've already talked about this a little bit, but the first is just to be a little more specific. The second one is to be more consistent and reporting progress. I learned that I am very much a visual reminder. I need to have, there were definitely some days where I just kind of forgotten to do stuff. You just get so busy trying to get everybody to school and, all of our homework for school online, and then, everything else, callings at church, and and then my kids' homework and stuff. And sometimes I just forgot. So if I have those visual reminders to help me remember, oh, hey, I need, do something really quick or say something really quick I mean, for me, my goal, and especially when it came to focusing on someone in the family, for me, that could have been anything from just acknowledging them, and something that they had done really well, or it didn't have to be like some drawn out effort that would take a lot of time or preparation. So anyway, just to have a visual reminder on a daily basis would help me a lot. And then to change the consequence if I didn't accomplish my goals, because it didn't, like I said, the one I had didn't work. On a scale of 1 to 10, I feel like I put in about an 8, and that might seem to contradict all of the no's that I had, but I really did. I feel like I was able to accomplish everything I wanted to accomplish, and I'm improving. So I learned a lot about accountability. One of the things that had always kind of frustrated me going to the temple was in how long it took to go through like an endowment session. And it just seemed like so many things were just unnecessary repetitions, particularly with all the return and reporting that is emphasized so much. And it finally dawned on me, and it wasn't until this accountability project where a light bulb went off, and why that's such an important part of the endowment session. And it's because the more that we report back our progress, the more committed we are to the outcome, and that accountability motivates our efforts, and it helps us to follow through with our commitment, to follow through with the goal, whatever it is. And it gives us the opportunity to just sort of evaluate, make any changes or any adjustments that need to be made so that we can succeed. And I've already talked about family council, how some of the things that I've learned, and as I'm trying to teach it to the people that are around me, I'm finding that I'm learning even more about it. So I've really been appreciative of that. So in a nutshell, that's my accountability project. But I'm really grateful that we had these goals, and I'm still going. I'm still trying to do all of those goals on a daily and weekly, monthly basis, and that's it.
Hey, good job.
Yeah, that's great.
I liked your part about relating the temple we're accountable, and how that makes us try harder. That was really interesting to me, because I noticed I never thought of that aspect when you go to the temple, but it is an accountability. It's like it's an assessment of where you are and what you've been doing, and if you measure up to that, even be able to go in, you have to meet a certain expectation and be accountable to make more commitments. So I thought that was really interesting. How old are your kids?
So we have 6 kids. My oldest are twins, and they're 16, and then I have a 12, 10, 9, and 7-year-old. So we're busy.
Oh,
but
wow.
It's fun.
Whole family.
Yeah.
Danielle, how many kids do you have?
I don't have any.
I'm just kidding. I know you don't have any.
Not yet.
Not yet. We just got married, so
That's no excuse.
well, it is a little bit. We haven't been married for 9 months, so
Yeah, that might be a little problem.
We waited forever. Like we got married and we didn't have our first kid till we've been married for almost 10 years and we have a 2-year-old. So we were like really late to the game. But yeah.
That's all right. We were late. My husband and I didn't get married until we were both. I was 20. We were 20. I was 27. I think he was 28 when we got married. So, most people marry when they're quite a bit younger than that. So we kind of felt like we were way late in the game too.
Yeah. What was I? I was 23. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not fun. Well, cool. I think that's it. That's the last of our meetings.
yeah. Well, it's been great working with you guys. You guys have been an awesome group.
I agree. You've been very easy to work with, and everybody does their part. It's been really, really nice.
Yeah.
So, thank you. And it was great to get to know you guys.
Yeah, you guys too.
Good luck in the rest of your classes this semester and in the future.
Yeah, you guys too.
Yeah.
I'll send you guys the link to the video.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thanks. We'll see you guys later. Have a good holiday.
Merry Christmas.
All right, Merry Christmas. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.